Mhm. Good evening, my friends. James here, of course, over on the Jackery channel with our nightly stream. Now, guys, we got a bunch of very cool products. Of course, we are leading up with a couple last streams of the month with this before we start off with July with a bang. Guys, we're going to be showing you guys a bunch of cool products. It is that time of the year where everybody's starting to head off and do outdoor stuff. Well, why not take a power station with you? That way you have a little backup power just in case you need to have a phone charged, maybe a flashlight, or other devices. Now, we're going to start the show off, of course, with the 100 Plus. Before we get into the 100 Plus, I'm actually going to show you guys a package that does come with most of these stations. Now, with that, most of these stations are going to come with a little kit like this. This, of course, is a nice little carrying pouch that they have. Has their beautiful little logo over here, and also has this nice little handle. Handle is going to allow you to carry around this carrying pouch. Now, this pouch does have a nice little zipper that's going to open up, and inside here, you're going to be greeted with a couple of things. It's going to be a couple different variations. You might get a cigarette lighter charging cable like this, which is going to be, of course, a cigarette lighter to DC plug for you. You might get an option of, let's say, a wall plug. Variety of different styles of wall plugs. If you don't get that, you may get like a solar panel cable or other devices. Some of these may come with, of course, these adapters for your DC plug pieces as well with that. So great little options, of course, cool little carrying pouch that most of these stations will come with. But I will change that variation with you in 1 second once I grab the 100 Plus. Because the 100 Plus actually does not come with one of those pouches. It only comes with one single cable, and that is going to be this beautiful 100-watt pass-through USB-C. Now, this USB-C to USB-C is 100-watt accessible for cable power in both directions for you. Now, it also comes with the USB-C to DC plug, so you can connect up a solar panel to this device as well. Now, with that, of course, this is 99 watt-hours of power, the Jackery Explorer 100 Plus power station. 128 watts, 31,000 milliamps of power. Now, this LifePo 4 battery system can actually be fully charged in under 2 hours on a wall plug. The one thing I will tell you guys, though, is you will need a power brick that can actually push that power into the system to get that 100 watts charged into it. So do know that. Now with this, you get two USB-C ports. These USB-C ports, if you guys look up a little closer, are 100 watts in and out. You also have that USB-A to 18 watts. Now over here, you also have this little power button that's going to come on and show you guys the power range of that device. Now this actually weighs less than 2 pounds, which is actually kind of cool. Now on the Amazon page, guys, if you see that little yellow banner or orange banner down there, if you click the product in the carousel, it'll take you to that product page. Now, on those product pages, most of these products may have a clippable coupon for that extra discount for you. Now, this one has actually got a $20 clippable coupon, which is actually kind of cool. Now, with the 100 Plus, like I said, under 2 hours fully charged, you're up and running, and it's going to allow you to do a few things. Rather it be charging your iPhone 14 6 times, or your laptop for about 6 hours of runtime, your iPad about a couple times, or lighting or other pieces. If you guys have something that can click into this and set it up, like let's say if I grab this port off of my computer and plug it into this, and we hit this little light, I'm actually running a Keystone light off of that now, if you guys can see right there. So cool piece. It's going to allow you to do multiple options like that. If you guys don't want to, of course, run that light on that, you just take it back off and you're good to go. Nice little simple little piece. Bunch of great options, USB-C to USB-C, and everything in between. This is actually acceptable on an airplane as well, so you guys can take it on an airplane, use it to fly with, and all of the other cool stuff. This is a great idea. I love the 100 plus, nice little mighty but mini power station. This little thing is a beast. Now remember, you can use multiple solar panels on this, the 40, the 80, or the 100. Those options are up to you. But great little power station right there for you. If you need something like that, definitely check that out. Now with it, of course, we're going to talk about the 240 V2. Now, the 240 V2 is a beautiful, beautiful power station that actually does very well for you. Now, 240 V2 is actually their most current product. It does have a handle, of course, with this, and it actually has 256 watt hours of power. Now, with that being said, this is their 2024 version. There is an older 240. That's the original. That's why it's called V2. LiFePo 4 cell with this, guys, has an AC outlet, 300 watts of pure sine wave power, but individually switched with a button. Now, with it, you do have to actually turn it on with you guys if you really want it to start working. But once we have it, it'll come on, and then we can actually hit that and turn the screen on. And you're going to see that nice high contrast screen. You're going to see it's got about 26%, but you're also going to see some flashing lights on that screen. That's because this works with an app. Now, everything is individually switched. So if I hit that button, it'll turn the flashlight on. And hit it again, it's going to go SOS power. You do have two USB-C ports. Now, the USB-C ports are 100 watts on the first one, in and out. You then have 15 watts on the second USB-C port, only output. Now, you also have a USB-A port at 15 watts as well with that. 12 volt, 10 amp cigarette lighter plug. Now, this does weigh approximately 8 pounds, so do know it does weigh a little bit. It does, of course, take a wall plug to charge it, changes the style. But the best part is it's got what's called Charge Shield 2.0 in it. That Charge Shield 2.0 means you can actually have this fully charged in 1 hour. Hello, Sheila. What's up? How is Sheila doing? Now, with it, like I said, 1 hour charge rate is all it's going to take on a wall plug. You're good to go. If you use that 100 watt USB-C port, 2 hours fully charged. If you had a 100 watt panel, it's going to take about an hour or 3 hours to charge with that rate, vice versa. Now, 256 watt hours of power means you're going to be able to run a 10 watt Bluetooth speaker for about 16 hours of runtime. Or if you want to charge a little laptop about 3 times, or your phone 12 times, and all of that other cool stuff, which is actually kind of cool. I love how's the allergies? The allergies are just perfect. They're off the charts and so much fun. Guys, with this is going to be kind of cool. So if you want to run a mini fridge, like a 90 watt mini fridge, 2 hours of runtime, your 60 watt flat screen TV, that's going to be like your 32 inch, your 42 inch, your 45 inch, and your 50 inch, about 4 hours of runtime. Let's say Sheila's on the couch trying to watch a movie, her router goes down. Plug your router into this, guys, run it for 14 hours, and you're good to go. Sometimes when your power goes out, your internet still works. You just have to have that router running. And that's kind of a cool option. The 240 V2 by itself is like $224. It is a great price point for this piece. Now, we also have the 240 V2 and the 40 mini solar panel. That's a full kit right there, guys. So you're going to get the station and a mini 40 solar panel. That mini 40 solar panel is actually a really nice panel. It's portable, acceptable, and can be taken pretty much anywhere you want. This is, of course, the mini 40 right here. Mini 40 solar panel, notebook size, has a magnetic clasp that pops open and then will fold out so you guys can see this. Now, you're probably thinking, but it's only 2 panels. No, it's not. It's not 2 panels, guys. It's 4. It's a nice large panel. This is actually a really decent sized panel that folds up very, very well. To have something like this, it's fully waterproof, water resistant, in harsh and wet weather, and can be set out in the sun to charge your little station is amazing. This is perfect for hiking, camping, quick emergencies, all of the sort. I actually have some close friends that want to get this set, really, really do. And I'm debating on getting it for them or something like that. We're going to deal with them. But really cool piece. This panel is going to do well for you guys. And the panel and the station, of course, about $314. It's a 10% off with that kit. Definitely worth checking out. I really love that one. And the allergies are actually not too bad today, but I haven't been outside a lot today. Instead, I cut my hair, shaved, did like multiple videos all day. Olivia, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Now we're going to move on to the 300. Now the 300 is actually another beautiful little power station. This, of course, is their older variation of the system. Now this 300 is 293 watt hours of power, 300 watts of AC outlet right here. That is individually switched. You actually have two of those AC outlets. That means you can plug a TV in and a Nintendo or a PlayStation or vice versa. Hit that switch, turn it on, and it'll come on. Now, what you're going to see is when I hit this display button, it's not going to power up no more because, well, the battery's finally dead. It's kaput. I need to recharge this. I just need to remember to recharge it. Now, with this, two AC outlets, guys, 300 watts of pure sine wave power, one USB-C port, 60 watts in and out, two USB-A ports, DC output, and a 12-volt 10-amp cigarette lighter plug over here, guys. Now, with it is a fixed-handled device. The 300 is going to do well. It's got silicone pads, cooling technology, and on the Amazon page, there's a $30 clippable coupon, so check out the page for you. Now with it, 3.5 hours wall plug is what it's going to take to fully charge this. Or if you use the wall plug in that USB-C port, guys, that 60 watt port, 2 hours fully charged for you. Now with it, that means you can run your Nintendo Switch off of this device for about 40 hours. That means Sheila can keep the grandkids really busy while she is off eating all the ice cream while they're not watching. I'm just saying. Sheila likes to eat the ice cream and not share. 7 pounds of weight, guys, is all this weighs. It's not that bad a weight. I actually very accessible to carry this around. 6 ports is really nicely done. You guys can run it for other stuff. Let's say that flat screen TV, 4.5 hours. Your phone, 31 times. Your mini cooler, 4.5. Or if you guys really wanted to and you're into camera gear, you can actually do this and charge approximately 15 to 16 of these little batteries off of this device. So that's actually kind of cool. It takes some work. I don't know what you're talking about. A really cool one. I like the 300. Nice little option. Still perfectly set for a lot of people. This is going to do well for you. And at a good price point. Next up, guys, we're going to show you guys the 500. Now, the 500 is actually a really, really cool little piece. It's a step up from the smaller ones, but still in that entry level, as I like to call it, entry level system. Now, you're looking at the table back here, and you're probably wondering, well, where's the 500? Well, the 500 is actually right in the middle of the table. If we can get the camera to zoom in, right there. That is the 500. Now, the 500 is actually a good price point for you. It's about $349. It's like 34% off tonight with that. 518 watts hours of power off of this. Now, with that being said, you get one AC outlet at 500 watts of pure sine wave power, 3 USB-A ports at 5 volt 2.4 amps, and then you have 3 DC plugs, and you have one of those is a 12 volt 10 amp cigarette lighter style. Now, with that being said, you got that nice display, but it also has, of course, that handle. It does weigh 13.5 pounds. The one thing you did not see is actually the flashlight on the side. So if you guys get lost in the dark and you're like, oh, we need a little light, this has got it for you. Hold it down, and of course, you guys can warn people that you're out there so they can actually see you. Now, with it, of course, turn it off and you're good to go. Now, with it, it's still got the screen. The screen, of course, is a white variation of this screen. Charge rate's going to be about 5.5 hours on a wall plug, 5.5 hours on a cigarette lighter in a car, 7.5 hours with the solar panel, and we'll actually show you guys that in a minute. But it has the rates where you need it. Now, where it's going to get cool is you guys can run that flat screen TV for 7 hours, the mini cooler for 9 hours, the laptop for 30 hours, and on and on and on. The better part is let's say you guys have a blackout, it's cold, and you want to keep a little bit of warmth on you. Plug in an electric blanket, get 4 hours of runtime with that, and you're good to go. It's actually really cool to be able to do that for you. Now, with it, of course, you can run like an air compressor for 8 hours, and that's going to be like your inflators for your air mattresses. your inflatable rafts, and so on with that. And that's actually cool, like part with that power station. So this power station is going to do well for all of those that all still individually switched. Once you hit it, you're going to start seeing watts being drawn. If I turn it off, you'll see that it'll shut off, and I hit this one, of course, with that as well. The display, if I just hold it back down, it'll shut down after a bit with that. The power station does really, really nice by itself. I think it's like $499, or actually it's $349 tonight. Now, if you want the 500 with the solar panel, so the 500 with the solar panel is a 518 watt hours of power, but it comes with the 100-watt solar panel. I've never heard of Amazon Live. Amazon Live is where we show you guys products that we've actually have had on hand or have used, or as it were, I'm doing this. This is actually a separate show with Jackery itself. So I'm also on the Jackery channel. Now, guys, this is, of course, the 100-watt panel that will come with this kit. This is the 100-watt solar panel. It is a bifold design with a nice large panel with this, of course. Fully waterproof, water-resistant, harsh and wet weather, and all of that other good stuff. This is about a $799 price tag. Yeah, you're on Amazon Live. You're here. You're on live. You're watching me live. Now, guys, with that, of course, it is a great price point, price tag, and a very good option. Now, of course, when we move away from the 500 range, we can actually show you guys the one right behind it, which is the 600 plus. Now, I'm going to bounce back here and show you guys that right there. The 600 plus is, of course, a new version of a product. This, of course, is their 600 plus portable power station. This has got the newer technologies, of course, built in with it. 632 watt hours of power with that, which is actually kind of cool. LiFePO 4 cells, battery, 800 watts of AC outlet through the two plugs. You do have two USB-C ports. One's a 30-watt port, the other's a 100-watt port. Then you have the 18-watt USB-A port and the 12-volt 10 amp. Now with this, you do have a flashlight, but you have to turn it on. Once you power it up, you guys are going to see that it's got about 24% charge left of it. Flashlight comes on, we hit it again, another mode, and SOS pattern with that. Now, like the other one, this does work with, of course, the app. The app's going to allow you to turn on those plugs off when you're away from the area or just around the house, which is actually kind of cool. What? So with that, of course, guys, this is where it's going to get kind of cool, because the newer technologies that's in this one, the Charge Shield V2, means it's up and fully charged in 1 hour of time. So you don't have to wait for a long period of time to have it charged to actually run it. On that 1 hour charge time, 632 watt hours of power means you can actually run or charge your phone about 27 times. Your laptop about 7 times. It has that rate that you need with the 600 that's actually going to do well for a lot of you. Other things you can run off of this is like that 10-watt Bluetooth speaker for about 36 hours. Your 8-watt battery is about 27 charges. Your gaming consoles, like your Nintendo Switch or other pieces, you can fully charge those about 2 or more times, depending on that. If you're just running the Switch off of this, you're going to get over 60 hours of runtime with that. And that's actually a good amount of runtime. If you're using it for like emergency backup, you can plug your 520-watt refrigerator. That's your standard double-door refrigerator. And you get about an hour of runtime, which should get you through enough to get a nice little chill back in that fridge so your food does not go bad. If you're out back doing like a movie night, you guys get about 5 hours of runtime off that projector with this device. Now, with that, of course, it does weigh about 16 pounds, which is actually very accessible and very easy to carry around without a problem. Now, if you want it with, of course, a solar panel, they also have the option of the 600 plus the 100-watt solar panel. Now, the 100-watt solar panel that comes with this kit is slightly different. It's this panel right here. Now, this is their new variation. It still has the kickstands that Velcro on. It has, of course, these little clasps that lock and a handle to carry it. Now, with this one, instead of a bifold design, this is actually a trifold design that's got 4 panels. So you got a much larger style of panel and an easier accessible carrying pouch. Now with it, of course, it does come with the cabling, so if you guys need that, it is in the kit packet. Now, of course, you'll have to plug it into the back and then plug it into the station. This is fully usable in wet and wet weather, harsh weather, if you need to. Fully washable with a hose, so you don't have to worry about it getting damaged. Now, the monocrystal insular cells is actually very beautifully done. It's going to give you guys about 23.5 to 24% conversion rate in even low light settings, which is actually beautifully done. The one thing I always remind you guys is that the eye ringlets are here for a reason. Tie it down because it is a big kite in the wind. You do not want this panel to fly away. So that is both the 600 Plus by itself and the 600 Plus with the actual beautiful solar panel. Both of those are great options for you guys. All right, let's see. Any other questions? Any comments? Really? Yeah, so I'm showing you products that you can definitely buy on Amazon with that. Nope. I definitely don't. So, guys, now we're going to pop over. We're going to show you guys some other really cool stuff in a second. With that being said, we're going to move into a larger system, of course, with that, and we're going to have some fun. Not sure why that just did that, but that's just what happens. Guys, we're going to show you guys the 1000 station. Now, the 1000, of course, is a nice portable power station that's going to do well for you. Now, the 1000, of course, if I swap cameras, we can move up to it with the camera angle, just like that. Now, that is the 1000 up above there. Now, the 1000 is 1002 watt hours of power through this device. Now, this device does have 3 AC outlets, and of course, if we zoom in a little bit closer, you guys are going to see those 3 AC outlets for you. Now, on top of that, you do have 2 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A port as well with that. And that's actually really cool with it, of course, on top of that. And now the best part about it is there's a 12-volt 10-amp cigarette lighter plug there as well. It's just one of those accessibility pieces that it's going to do nicely for a lot of people. Now, the one thing we're going to talk about is, of course, is the actual usage with this device. Now, the usage of the device is going to allow you to do multiple things because you have 1000 watts of pure sine wave power with that. You're going to actually be able to run like an electric grill, a mini cooler, or other pieces. It will take you about 5 hours to fully charge this on a wall plug, though. Now, with that being said, you definitely could run options of, let's say, a 5-watt light bulb for 65 hours. Your 60-watt flat screen TV, like the one behind me, you may not be able to see it too well, but it is back there. You'd be able to get about 9 hours of runtime off of that. For those of you that need it during, like, let's say, a cold spout, maybe your power's out, you could run an electric blanket for over 11 hours if you really wanted to. Now, a couple other things you guys could do is, like, plug in your inflatable yard decorations. You'll get multiple hours of usage off that without a problem. Now, this one does weigh approximately 22 pounds of weight, though, for you. Now, we have it by itself for about $5.99 tonight, but we also have it in the carousel with 2 of the 100-watt solar panels at a $999 price tag. Now, with that being said, on the side, like the 500, if I flip it around over here, you guys are going to see it still has that flashlight built in, and if I hold it down, it can go into SOS pattern for you. Now, it still has, of course, the silicone pads on the bottom, so you don't mar up your surfaces with it. But it's actually a really cool piece. Now, with this one, it uses an Anderson clip to connect to the solar panels. So do you know you'll have to have the Anderson clip to do that with that? Now, yes, it does have, of course, the DC plug, but it's got the Anderson style over there as well. And that's actually kind of cool. So, both great variations and options for you. Do I drink G Fuel? No, I do not. I am not. I don't actually drink many of those drinks at all. I'm mainly water drinker. So both great options with the 1000 variations of the original 1000. Now, with it, of course, we have a bunch of other very great pieces that we can kind of show you with it on hand. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pop up, we're going to give you guys a great little options of some more stuff with this. Now, of course, we can do what we want to, and we're going to show you guys the 1000 V2. Now, the 1000 V2 is a beautiful, beautiful power station. It's their newest system. Now, with that being said, the 1000 V2 is actually down on the bottom of this table, right next to the 600 Plus. So if I move over to here and we zoom on in, you guys are going to see the 1000 V2. Now, the 1000 V2 actually has that new charge technology. Now, that new charge technology means you're up and fully charged in 1 hour of charge time. Now, with it, of course, you have 3 AC outlets at 300 watts, or not 300 watts. Why did I say 300 watts? Wrong station. This is actually 1500 watts of pure sine wave power through these 3 AC outlets. Now, you do have, of course, the flashlight like the other one. You also have 2 USB-C ports. One's a 100-watt port, one's a 30-watt port, and then you have that USB-A port, and, of course, the 15 or 18 watts on this one. Now, with that being said, like I said, 1 hour charge time, great piece. If you use the USB-C port, under 2 hours fully charged. If you want to use solar panels, guys, a couple hours as well. If you want to do it in what's called quiet mode, they actually have what's called quiet mode, which drops it down to about 5 hours of charge time with this. Now, it works with the app. The app is kind of cool and how easy it works. The app's going to allow you to work on your Android phones or your Apple phones, whatever you have, or even tablets. It will work on this. Runtime is where it's at with this one because you do have that over 1,070 watt hours of power. You're going to be able to run more stuff off of this. And that's where it's actually going to be nice and reliable. Your mini fridge is about 14 hours with that. And, of course, your TV about 10 hours. If you want to use it as a UPS, you can do that as well. If you want to use it out on the road, you can use it out on the road. Now, with it, of course, a heating blanket, guys, 12 hours of runtime with this heating blanket, which is actually beautifully well done. The 1000 V2 comes in at like $799, but if you guys click that product in the carousel, you'll notice that there's another coupon on the product page, another $50 off. So you're going to save some money with that. With this, though, it does weigh about 23 pounds, a little over 23 pounds, but it still is very accessible to carry around. If you don't want the product by itself, we also have the version in the carousel for you guys with a solar panel. So you guys can actually do that, and the solar panel, of course, as well. The solar panel is going to be the 200-watt solar panel, if I can remember correctly. So you guys are going to get that at like a $1,299 price tag, but on that page, there's going to be a $250 clippable coupon. That's a great, great deal. Something like that, Sheila, something like that. I missed most of it, so I'm not too worried. Now, for all of you on the other channel, always make sure to give Jackery a like and a follow on the other page. And, of course, click that live notifications so you know when we're going live with these streams. So, great options for you guys with this, of course. Useful little products. They're going to do well for a lot of you guys and power up as you need. Now, the 1000 V2, I actually used it for a couple other cool things. I'm going to get into that. I actually used it to charge my hair clippers, and that's what you guys see here, freshly cut, freshly shaved. So I did use it to do that. We ran a little test on the window AC, no problem. It ran it without an issue. Guys, you could use these for so much different ideas. If you really wanted to, guys, you could use it for a lot of different stuff. You don't have to worry. The sky is the limit with it. Because, yes, it is, of course, at that maximum range of over 1,500 watts of pure sine wave power, it can peak at almost 3,000. That's a crazy amount of power. Now, for that, we can talk about the 2000 Pro. Now, the 2000 Pro is, of course, still on the table down here. It's on the opposite side of the table. So we can actually pop over here back to the screen, and we can move over to the 2000 Pro. Now, of course, the camera's not going to, work properly for me tonight because it's just going to be like, hey, nope, not today. All right, the 2000 Pro kit, guys, comes with a solar panel. It's going to be the Solar Saga 200-watt panel. This is like a $2,099 price tag. With that's about 13% off already. On the product page, guys, there's a $700 clippable coupon. Now, with that, you have 2,160 watt hours of power off of this. Now, with that being said, you have 3 AC outlets at 2,200 watts of pure sine wave power. With that, of course, you have a cigarette lighter, 12 volt, 10 amp. You'll also have that beautiful display with that high contrast screen. Makes it for easy reading. With that, you also have a light over here. That light's going to do multiple modes, multiple brightnesses, and of course make me stutter tonight. Not sure why, but I am definitely having my stutters. Now with it, of course, you also have two USB 100 watt USB-Cs, two USB-A ports at 18 watts max. Individually switched, hit that switch, it comes on, and you're good to go. With it, of course, on this, you guys got that handle that does fold up so you can carry it around and take it wherever you want. The beach, the tent site, your garage, your shed, or just the other room, you pick and choose. That's up to you. Now, with it, of course, it's going to take approximately 2 hours to fully charge this device. With that 2 hours of charge, you're going to be able to run multiple pieces with no problem. And that means you're going to be able to run a window AC off of this if you really wanted to for about 2 hours. Your microwave for about 96 minutes. That 520 watt refrigerator for about 3¼ hours. Or that hot plate for about 48 minutes. Let's say Sheila's throwing a barbecue outside around her nice new yard that she's been decorating. Guys, you can do some daiquiris, frozen drinks, 5 hours in that blender. You're good to go. It's a really cool piece. I love the 2000 Pro. Now, with that, of course, you get that big solar panel. Now, that solar panel is a nice, large 200-watt solar panel at 18 volts of charge rate. That's going to do well for most people. Now, of course, like I always say, guys, you should always check them out and make sure it's the perfect one for you. There's a lot of amazing options. The big ones to the small ones, it's always an option for you. Now, also the other thing I'm going to tell you about is, of course, with it, like I said, $700 clippable coupon on that product page. Don't forget to clip it. I'm going to take a sip of water. No, what? Oh, yeah, frozen drinks. Oh. Except for my water's dripping all over my desk. It's a little too cold today. Guys, this is actually cool. Now, remember, like most of these products, they do come with a warranty from Jackery. You will have to register those. This one comes with, I think it's like a 5-year warranty, which is actually kind of cool. Class 9 UL protection with this one. It also has a fire retardant casing to help with that. It also has cooling technologies. Now, also built into these is a battery management system and, of course, a temperature sensors. So the temperature sensors are going to keep track of the battery's charge rate up and down to make sure they're charging at the proper weight or proper rate. That's the same thing, of course, the intelligent battery management system is going to do. Now, but the temperature sensor is going to make sure it's at that right temperature where it's not too hot or too cold. And if it gets too hot, it's going to kick on that cooling fan to allow you to access that. Now, the 200 is an amazing, amazing product. Of course, the 2000 with that. Now, of course, both of those are going to work out well for you, but I'm going to say let's take a look at their largest standalone system. If you guys need something that's going to keep you going for a lot longer, this is probably going to be the one for you. This, of course, is the 3000 Pro. Now, the 3000 Pro is actually down there on the bottom. It's got an LED lighting connected up to it right down there. Now, this does weigh approximately 64 pounds. Now, the 3000 Pro kit is actually going to come with two 200-watt Solar Saga panels. Now, it's about a $3,699 price tag on the Amazon page, but there's a clippable coupon on that page as well. With that, it's going to take about 2.5 hours to fully charge this device. This device carries 3,024 watt hours of power. Now, that 3,024 watt hours of power means you guys can run a window AC for over 3 hours without a problem. With this, it changes a little bit with the actual product. Because it is a bigger device, they actually added 5 total AC outlets. Now, for those are your standard three-prong American outlets that are going to do 3,000 watts of pure sine wave power that can peak at 6,000 watts. Now, you also have that fifth one up above. That's a rounder style plug. And if I could remember the name of the plug off the top of my head, I would definitely tell you. But I can't tonight because that's just the way the night's going. Now, like the others, it does have two USB-C ports at 100 watts max and two USB-A ports at, of course, 18 watts max of charge rate with that. Now, another cool part is this actually does, since it weighs 64 pounds, it has, of course, a large orange handle on the side to help lift it, but it's also got aluminum handle that's going to allow you to tilt it back and wheel it around like a suitcase. Now, another cool thing is it's got 3-inch large wheels. Those 3-inch large wheels are going to allow you to roll it around on pretty much many surfaces. Whether it be grass, dirt, concrete, or just your regular flooring, it'll allow you to do that. Now, that 2.5-hour charge rate on a wall plug is actually perfectly well set for you. Now, it will allow you to run, of course, a flat screen TV for approximately 35 hours. If you guys want to run that 1100 watt window AC, 3 hours. If you want to run your 520 watt refrigerator, 5 hours of runtime. Now, because it does have a good amount of power, you can actually run it to use it to run a TIG or MIG welder for a little over 1 hour of runtime. And that's actually kind of cool. For those of you living in an RV, you guys can use it to run your heater for about 6 hours. Or if you want to do just play video games on it, about 10 charges of that video game console. But for me, it's where it's at is having to be able to cook in your oven for over 3 hours at 800 watts of power. It's a very, very beautiful option. Now, yes, this is their largest standalone system. This system is perfectly well set and comes with 2 solar panels at a great price point. Now, remember, click that product page to get that product discount that's already there for that clickable coupon. Now, with that, of course, we're going to move on into the 300 plus system. Now, the 300 plus system, I can actually pick up and show you. 280 watt hours of power in this device. Now, with this, it does have one AC outlet at 300 watts of pure sine wave connectability, but can peak at 600 if you need. Now, over here, if I click it and look over here, you guys have 2 USB-C ports. One, of course, is 100 watts max and an out port. You also have, of course, that 15 watt USB-A port above it, 12 volt 10 amp, and that high contrast screen and a flashlight. Now, with this, they changed it out. You have that wall plug on the side and that larger cooling technology. For the 288 watt hours of power, guys, it's going to take under an hour and a half off a wall plug to fully charge this. If you just use that USB-C in and out port, under 3 hours, fully charged, good to go. For those of you with that, though, that means you guys have 280 watt hours of power. It's going to allow you to run that house fan for about 4.5 hours. Or your phone 13 times, your drone multiple times. Or if you really wanted to, your Nintendo Switch for about 25 hours. It's a good amount of time to be able to video game. It's going to keep your kids very happy and very accessible. Now, with that, of course, $233 price tag on this product. It does work with the app. The app, of course, is completely controlled. The Jackery app is completely free and can work on pretty much most devices on the market out there for you. So you don't have to worry about that with that. Now, it is very silent and quiet, but you can do it to run other devices. Let's say your router again, guys. Your Wi-Fi router, about 15.5 hours. Your 5 watt lamp, 22 hours of runtime. Or even your pet heating pad for like your lizards, 7 hours of runtime. Make sure your lizards are nice and warm when there's a power outage. Now, that is, of course, the 300 by itself. We also have the 300 with a solar panel, and that's going to be the Mini 40 kit. So that is actually a really cool piece. Again, that's a $319 price tag for that station and this Mini 40. This Mini 40, again, guys, is a beautiful little solar panel that's going to work well for you guys. Nice little piece. I love the Mini 40. I actually took the Mini 40 to a barbecue the other day and tried it out, and it actually works very, very well. It grabs that light like you'd expect, and since it's so portable, you can pretty much put it anywhere. I mean, if you really wanted to, guys, you could use nails to hang it on the side of a wall. Or if you guys wanted to, just use the eye holes. Always say tie it down though. That kit is about $319 for you tonight. That's a good price point for you. Very, very decent price point. Now, what do we have up next? I think we're going to move into modular systems. We are. We're going to move into the 1,000-watt system, all right? We're going to move to the 1,000-plus system. Now, the 1,000-plus system is a really nice power station. That's going to do well for a lot of people. Now, it's a little bit offset. It's right back there. And, of course, I'm not sure why it looks dark tonight. Same lighting as normal. It's just a little bit dark. This is 1,264 watt-hours of power. 2-hour charge, under 2-hour charge time with this, guys. So about an hour, little, I want to say hour and 3/4. All right, charge time on a wall plug for you. Now, with that means you guys can run multiple devices off of this with no problem. You have 3 AC outlets that do 2,000 watts of pure sine wave power. Now, with it, of course, you have 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, and, of course, that very beautiful little flashlight that's built in. Runtime, of course, 1,264 watt-hours of power means you guys can run multiple devices like your window ACs if you really wanted to off of this. You guys could also run a blender for about 3 hours, a projector for 9 hours, that little light bulb on the front about 96 hours. That's up to you. If you want to run and charge your smartphone, you guys can do that with multiple times. The fast charging capability is actually really nice. And of course, the EPS 0.02 seconds auto switch works very fast. It's about 30 decibels of noise with this one, which is actually very silent for you. Now, the price tag on the 1,000 by itself is about $999. Normally, it's like, I think, $1,200. It's a good price point. Now, remember, it's a modular system. So modular means, guys, we can add other pieces to it. Like if we really wanted to, we could add the 1,000 plus and 2 solar panels. And that's actually what we got in the carousel next. So we have the 1,000 plus 2 solar panels in the carousel. That's like a normal $1,700 price tag. It's like 12% off tonight, so it's like $14.99. Now, there's also a clippable coupon on that page. It's going to bring another $150 off as well. The solar panels that come with it are the 100-watt solar panels. So you're going to get the station and those solar panels at a great price point. That's going to do well for you guys. But where I would be at it, I would get the full kit. That's going to be the 1,000 plus battery. Now, the battery is actually on the station above, next to it, right up on top. So right over there is the battery. Now that means you just doubled your runtime to 2,528 watt-hours of power. You get the 1,000 plus power station and the 1,000 plus battery pack and 2 solar panels. Normally a $2,400 price tag. It's like $2,099, but there is a $200 clippable coupon on that page for you. Now remember, yes, you can add a battery to it, but you can actually add 3 batteries total to this. Now, that's going to give you guys 5 kilowatts of hour power, which is going to be able to run a lot of stuff for you. This is great for RVing, camping, emergencies, living off of the grid, or pretty much whatever you really need. Once you start doubling that power range in there, you guys can run products twice as much. Your window AC for 2 hours. Your angle grinders. Your other devices can keep doubling and running for longer periods of time. It's a really, really amazing piece, an option to be able to add extra batteries to these kits. And remember, anything over like 3,000 watts means you guys can contact your green energy places or your government assistance programs to get that tax credit with that. Now, it's not guaranteed, but you can fill out for it and see if you qualify with that. So a bunch of great options with the 1,000 stations for you tonight. Let's move into, of course, their largest, that's right, their largest modular system. This is going to be the 2,000 plus system. Now, the 2,000 plus is actually on the table down here. If I go down here, you guys will see this. Let's turn that light a little bit closer to you, and let's zoom on in. Now, just like the 3 3000 Pro, the 2000 Plus has got 5 AC outlets. Now this does 2042 watt hours of power. The 5 AC outlets are going to do 3000 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 6000. Now, just like the 3000, it actually has 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, and a 12-volt 10-amp plug. Now, on top of that, it weighs 64 pounds by itself. If you wanted to, roll it around on the large 3-inch wheels and do what you need for that. Now, of course, guys, you have the telescopic aluminum handle that's going to allow you to roll it around like a suitcase on the go. Which actually really perfectly well done with that one. Now we're going to get into it because you can run a welding machine off of this for a little over a half hour if you really wanted to. No voice. That's weird. I have voice on my end. Okay. I was like, huh? All right, guys, here's where it's going to get cool because you do have a lot of power with that, guys. About 150 hours of runtime on a CPAP machine. So if you have problems of sleeping and you have to have an oxygen machine or CPAP machine, about 150 hours of runtime you'll get off of this device by itself. Now, if you want to run that 520 watt refrigerator for about 3 hours of runtime, and that's actually kind of cool. Now, we can range into a few other things that you can do with this, like your window ACs, your coffee makers, your ovens, your desktop PCs. Yes, you can game off of this if you really wanted to. But the cool part is if you guys live on a homestead or a house that has a well and you have no power, plug your well into this and you're going to get about 20 hours of runtime on that 60 watt well pump. And that's actually nice to be able to do with that, of course. I really love that you can do that and have that accessibility to be able to run those with that amount of time. For those of you that want to get that inverter heater going, about 70 watts of power is what those are around, about 19 hours or so of runtime. Now, the 2000 Plus by itself is a really cool piece of technology. It does weigh 64 pounds, though. It's got about 4,000 battery cycles of charge cycles before it gets down to about 80% battery, but should last after that even longer after 10 years, which is kind of cool. Now, this one does, of course, like I said, guys, you can do that government assistance to get you over there to try to get that tax credit if you really wanted to. It's just one of those things. Price tag's about $2,000. I think there's a $200 clippable coupon. So click that product page, of course, and attempt to get you guys that discount. Now, if you want the 2000 plus some solar panels, guys, we have the option of this in the carousel. The 2000 plus 2 of the Solar Saga 200 panels. Now, that's actually really beautifully well done product and perfectly well set. The 200 watt solar panels are going to do 200 watts of charge rate and, of course, 18 volts of charge. Now, with that being said, guys, it's just one of those things that's going to work perfectly nice for you. But if you have 6 of those panels, you're going to get about 2-hour charge rate off of that. But we can talk about, of course, the full kit. Now, the full kit is going to be the Jackery Explorer 4000 kit. This is the 2000 plus 2000 battery. Now, that's going to be the Plaque Plus E2000. Now, that's the device that's sitting right above it. That means you just doubled your battery rate just like that. So instead of the 2,000 watts of pure sine wave power, you got 4,085 watt hours of power. Now, with that, of course, you still get that 3,000 watts of pure sine wave connectability through the 5 AC outlets and still peaks at 6,000 if you really needed to. Now, the full kit comes with the battery, the station, and, of course, the 2 solar panels, which is a great price point at $4,399 tonight. But there's also that clippable coupon that brings it down another $400. Now, remember, though, I did say it is a modular system. So with that being said, this one power station by itself can have 5 batteries. That means you guys have 12 kilowatts of hour power on this product. That means you could run your full house off of this without an issue. You guys can run your homestead off of this, your welding shop, your metal shop, your wood shop, whatever you need to power, we'll be able to power that for a decent amount of time. Now, with that being said, Each power system can actually have 6 solar panels. If you guys want, you can actually plug solar panels into the batteries as well. So you can have multiple solar panels charging multiple pieces at a very good charge rate, which is actually beautifully well done. I love that they give you the option of doing that. But the best part about the 2000 plus system is you can actually link 2 of these power stations together and add 10 batteries total to have 24 kilowatts of power. 24 kilowatts of hour power means you're running your house for days. There's no problem with it. You'll be able to run pretty much whatever you need. From that TV to my gaming laptop to my gaming PC to my fridge to my stove to my lighting to whatever I really needed. It's got the power. It's got the connectability. It's going to do well for you. Has a $400 clippable coupon on the product page. Click that product page and don't miss out. You're going to really love that. Now, of course, we're going to move into the solar panels stage of this show. Now, we're going to start this off with, of course, the Solar Saga Mini 40. Now, the Mini 40, like I talked about, fully waterproof, IP68, waterproof and water resistant, has this little beautiful magnetic clasp, beautiful bright orange with their logo, eye ringlets that are actually like clipped in or shrinked into this. That's going to allow you to clip in, like, let's say, bungee cords, tie it down with ropes or whatever you need. The waterproof and water resistant means if it gets wet or dirty, you can wash it off with the hose. It's not going to hurt it. Now, it is, of course, a trifold design, so you guys can see this right here. There is your trifold design with quad panels that clip on here. Now, this is going to do a nice conversion rate of that solar rate at 23% conversion rate efficiency, even in lower light settings with that. Now, another cool part about this is, guys, it does a good job. It's just portable. It's the size of a notebook. You guys can put this in your backpack with no problem and take it with you on the go. To be able to do that and have the size of this to run different devices, this is definitely a must-have. And like I said, I was using it over the weekend at a camp or a little backyard barbecue and fire, and was having fun with it. Very compatible with like the 300 plus and all those stations, all the way up to, I believe, the 1000 if you wanted to. Really, really cool piece. I love this little solar panel. It's an amazing solar panel. It's perfectly light, perfectly accessible. I mean, literally, I could put it behind me in a backpack. Wouldn't even know it was back there. You technically, if you really wanted to, guys, this is kind of cool. You're out hiking. If you wanted to, you guys could clip this, like you don't have to have it all the way out. If you clip it onto you and just have it hanging just like this, you can have 2 panels grabbing that solar light off your backpack if it's clipped to your backpack. And that's actually kind of a cool idea, too, to be able to do that with that. So that's the Mini 40 for you tonight, guys. A beautiful piece, one of their newer solar panels. Now, I believe we're going to move over to the 100-watt Solar Saga. Now, the 100-watt Solar Saga has got about a $300 price tag. On the product page, there is a clippable coupon. You'll have to click that page to see that coupon. It's about $30, I believe. This 100-watt solar panel is going to do 100 watts of charge rate at 18 volts for your 240, your 300, your 500, your 1000s, your 1500 stations. Now, with it, has a Velcro stance, one on each side, ETFE laminated handle, and of course, earth magnets that are going to allow it to magnetically shut close. On the back, you have another kickstand to help set it up. It's going to take about 10 seconds to fully take out and have set up. Unzip this pouch, and you're going to be greeted with, of course, the cable kit. Now, the cable kit is actually nicely done. It's got a 9.5-foot cable. It's got 2 different adapter pieces depending on the connection you need. Now, of course, down here is this orange little panel. This orange panel's got a 5-volt 2.4 amp USB-A port and USB-C port. So you can charge your actual phones or tablets off of this if you wanted to without having the power station. Now, when you pop it open, you're going to be greeted with, of course, the monocrystalline solar cells. Now, these monocrystalline solar cells, if you guys can see that light grabbing over here, that's what it's going to do outside for you. It's going to grab that light, give you guys a 23.5% conversion rate and great efficiency. Fully waterproof and water resistant in, of course, harsh and wet weather. Can be washed off with a hose if you guys get it nice and dusty. Don't worry about it. Nice big panel. I mean, look at that. This is a really nice panel. This thing is actually beautifully well done. And it's actually very, very light. It's not super heavy. So you can carry this without a problem. Still has the ringlets to tie it down so you don't have to worry about it flying away if you guys wanted to. Now remember guys, this of course is the Solar Saga 100 panel. That's going to do beautifully well for a lot of different stations on hand. Hey Justin, how you doing? Now we have one more product, guys. This is going to be the Solar Saga 200 watt panel. Now we actually have, pop over here, we can actually drop off that image and show you guys a video of this. Now this is the Solar Saga 200 watt panel. Now the Solar Saga 200 watt panel is like a $699 price tag, but there is a clippable coupon on the product page. So click that product link and you guys can see that coupon right there for you. Now with it, this is going to work with the 1500 Pro, the 2000 Pro, the 2000 Plus, and the 3000 Pro power station. Now, of course, this is where it gets cool. Fully trifold design quad panel. Has 3 kickstands to hold it up. It still is a monocrystalline silicone cell technology that's going to grab about 24.5 efficiency and conversion of that light into energy. Now, with that being said, that means you're going to get about 200 watts of power at 18 volts within no time, as long as it's nice and bright out. If it's a little dimmer, then the charge rate might drop down some. It does come with a 9.5-foot cable. That 9.5-foot cable can be extended out with an extension if you purchase it. With it, it does come with a straight connection or a 90-degree angled connection on top of that. Now with it, of course, is the ETFE case, which is a beautifully done case with a pocket. Right here, you guys will see me connecting it up to the 3000 Pro power station. Within the seconds it's connected and I grab the camera to show you guys, it's already grabbing about 153 to 154 watts of charge rate in no time. Now, of course, the longer you set it there, the brighter the sun's going to get, the more conversion rate you're going to get. That's actually kind of cool. That means you're up and charging your devices without a problem. The IP68 water rating is actually beautifully well done and perfectly set for these pieces. This is definitely a larger solar panel. Make sure you have the room and the right product for this panel, but it's going to do well for you. How many watts total is that panel? It's a 200 watt panel. So you get 200 watts of charge rate at 18 volts. So like the 100 watt is a 100 watt panel at 18 volts. That is 200 watts at 18 volts. That's a nice large panel. It's the conversion efficiency with this one. Because the efficiency of that design with it, it's very flexible. It's perfect to elevate your solar, your journeys or whatever you really need to. You can put it on your rooftops, your RVs, wherever you really want to. Just set it up and get it going. Now remember, like I always say though, tie them down. If you live in an area that is prone to winds or high winds, tie them down to make sure that you're actually don't have to worry about it. And that's just one of those things. So really, really cool piece. Awesome option, of course, with that. Amazing product, guys. A bunch of very, very beautiful products. Now, that is the last product I have for you guys tonight. I will be back, I think, Thursday night with one more stream for the month. So hopefully you guys will give a follow. Hit that follow button. Also hit that live notification button so you guys know when we go live. With that, I want to thank you guys. Have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to go and probably eat a little snack and tear down this table. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys on the next. Later, everybody.